Now let's talk about how our sense of touch can be very calming, very grounding, particularly when we're anxious. Our bodies have a normal response to contact with or touching something that feels good, something smooth, something round, something comforting. It's a chemical that's released into our system that immediately helps us feel better. Think about winter time when we all pull out our fleece and how good it feels to rub our arms, or how good it feels to rub someone else on the back once they have fleece on. There's an automatic ah that comes with touching something comforting. That's why they call it a worry stone or a worry bead, because immediately there's some sense of releasing our worries and having it absorbed by the object, or at least having it released so that we feel better at that point in time. Maybe when you were a child you had a blankie. It's that same principle. It's being in contact with something that's comforting, it's grounding us and connecting us to something that feels comforting or soothing or familiar. And it doesn't have to be the object itself that's familiar. Sometimes it's the sensation or the imagery that we've associated with that object that feels comforting or familiar. So here's the suggestion. Maybe you have a stone or a marble or a rock or maybe any other small object that you can put in your pocket on a day when you feel like you might get activated, or a day when you feel like you might be in pain, or a day when you know you're going to have some high stress. Slip it into a pants pocket, a coat pocket, into a bag, somewhere that's accessible. It might even be a day in which you can't take time out to feel your stress, and that's fine. Put it in your pocket. During the meeting, during the time you have to be on, just reach in and touch it. The sensation of the touching itself will be comforting. And what also comes to mind will be the connection that you associate with that object. Maybe you remember the place where you found that shell or where you found that stone, and you can have some of those memories come back, those sensations of pleasantness or a fun time or a time of calm and safety. Or maybe you can have the associations with the person who gave it to you if it was a gift. They might immediately come to mind, and their presence can be very comforting, very calming as well. So have your objects at the ready. Or even think about what you might be wearing on a stressful day. Wear some slacks, or a jacket, or a vest, or a coat, or some object, some fabric that's comforting to you so that you can just gently touch it during the day and have that release of your stress or your worry. You may even find that using paper in your pocket can be beneficial. Simply writing down a word or a phrase or an intention or the name of someone near and dear to you to have on a piece of paper in your pocket can be really helpful, so that when you reach in and touch that paper, the phrase comes to mind or that person comes to mind. Remember also, when you're feeling stress, to breathe. Here are some samples of things that might inspire you as to what to put in your pocket for soothing and calming. Here's a seed pod, very soft and very smooth, very shiny to look at, and it fits right into the palm of the hand. Sometimes just having something to wrap your entire hand around can be beneficial. Here's a shiny marble, an art piece. The artist is someone who is important to me, and so it's helpful for me to carry it with me. Here's a piece of glass that I found on a beach once. It's been weathered by the elements and survived many storms to be beautiful, to be comforting, and it feels very good to the touch. A piece of seed corn to remind me that great things lie ahead. That again fits just nicely between my fingers with a very smooth texture, with some interesting texture to touch. A Petoskey stone, that when I touch it, it not only feels good, but I can see the beautiful pattern on the stone. A found stone that's smooth on both sides, but resembles a heart in shape. And of course, a small heart to carry. And my piece of paper, remember to breathe.